For more analysis, let's go now to Andrew Osborne, a Moscow-based correspondent who's joining us on the line. Andrew, then she was working on she had led a number of damning investigations into the goings-on in Chechnya. Do we know what she was working on at the time of her death, and would this point to why she was killed?
We have some idea, yes, but it's certainly no exaggeration to say that she was one of the last independent sources of information about Chechnya, which of course is controlled by a Kremlin-backed really enforcer called Ramzan Kadyrov. And what she was doing recently, in recent weeks and months, was really documenting some of the what she said were serious human rights abuses that were being perpetrated by the Kremlin-backed regime in Chechnya, notably the burning of people's houses by the security forces in kind of punitive expeditions against the relatives of the remaining kind of separatist rebels in Chechnya. That was one of the things that she was looking at. And also, she was also investigating and probing and documenting the alleged abductions, the whole string of abductions which still continue to take place in Chechnya, and human rights organizations such as the one that she worked for, again, accuse the Kremlin-backed regime of being behind these. So she was really a real thorn in the side of Mr. Kadyrov, the Kremlin-backed president, and he had personally summoned her more than once and warned her to ease off in terms of the work that she was doing.
Now this, in truth, is turned into a nasty pattern, isn't it, Andrew, in terms of, sort of human rights campaigners who are singled out and then basically murdered?
It is. I mean, that's right. I mean, obviously, you mentioned Anna Politkovskaya in 2006. She was, of course, murdered in the lift to her apartment block. And again, of course, her killers have never been found. And then earlier this year, a very prominent human rights lawyer called Stanislav Markelov was gunned down in the middle of Moscow. Again, he worked on many cases connected with Chechnya, like Miss Politkovskaya and like Natalya Estemirova. So they are all in a sense connected by Chechnya. And at the same time, of course, what people have noticed is that many enemies or people considered undesirable by the Kremlin-backed regime in Chechnya are frankly being murdered across the world. So the human rights community here in Russia is, I have to say, pointing the finger at Mr. Kadyrov and the Kremlin-backed regime in Chechnya, although of course they do strongly deny any involvement in her murder.
Okay, Andrew Osborne joined us on the line. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that.